What makes a watch truly special? Is it its complications, its design, or maybe the history behind it? To answer this question, today we're diving into a very special watch, which is the Longines Master Collection Chronograph Moonphase, a watch that is truly special to me in my collection. Longines was founded in 1832 and it is one of Switzerland's most iconic watchmakers. The brand is known for its timeless design and precision. Longines actually created the first wristwatch chronograph back in 1913, and it was a watch that used a single pusher for its chronograph. In 1925, they went one step further and they created a new wristwatch chronograph that this time used two pushers and had a flyback function. The Master Collection was launched in 2005 and it represents Longines' commitment to creating really aesthetic watch paired with practical complications, all of that at a really accessible price point. In this review, we'll explore everything from the design of the watch to the complications, the Longines movement, and we'll also see how it feels and looks on my wrist. I will also walk you through how to set up this watch, as it will be really useful for anyone new to really complicated timepieces. As usual, we're going to start with the dial, and on this specific reference we have the anthracite color. It exists in different colors such as white or blue, but I personally think that this one is the most interesting one. It is rich, it has a slightly metallic finish that plays beautifully with the light, and I think it adds a lot of depth and sophistication to the watch. On the dial we have Roman numerals with leaf-shaped hands, and both are in pink steel, which I think contrasts perfectly with the darker anthracite dial. I think that this specific configuration adds a lot of elegance to the watch without being too overbearing or flashy. As you can see, the dial is packed with complications, but it's laid out in a way that feels really balanced and not too overwhelming, so I definitely think that Longines did a great job at ensuring everything remains clear and functional. The case is entirely made out of polished stainless steel, and we have a diameter of 42 millimeters, 14.2 in thickness, and we have a lug-to-lug of 49.5 millimeters. Additionally, we have a lug width of 21 millimeters. So it is definitely not a slim watch, but I think it wears comfortably on the wrist. This is a watch that I can personally wear for an entire day without any problems. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to me. Sure, it is a bold watch, but it's not oversized, and I think the proportions work really well. We have a sapphire crystal on the front, which is slightly domed, and it is treated with multiple layers of anti-reflective coating to ensure optimal clarity in various lighting conditions. The crown is a push-pull crown, and we have a water resistance of 3 bar or 30 meters, which is enough to handle occasional splashes, but this is definitely not a watch you want to swim with. This watch is packed with complications, and we're going to cover all of them one by one. So first of all, as the name suggests, we have a chronograph function. We have the central second hand, which is paired with a 30-minute counter at 12 o'clock and a 12-hour counter at 6 o'clock. The chronograph function, as always, is very easy to operate. You push the top pusher to start and stop the timer, and you push the bottom pusher to reset it. Next, we have the date function, which is indicated by a central hand with a crescent moon that sweeps across the outer edge of the dial and points to the date markers, so I think it's a great addition from Longines. We also have a day and month display at 12 o'clock. At 6 o'clock you will find the Moonphase complication, which is a feature that tracks the lunar cycle. So you'll see that the disc displays a golden moon and stars on a blue background, which I think adds both functionality and also a romantic touch to the watch. And finally, we have a subdial at 9, which houses a 24-hour indicator, which helps us distinguish between AM and PM time, as well as a small second hand. So now we're going to see how to set up this watch in practice. So as usual, we're going to wind up the watch by rotating the crown in its neutral position. We're then going to put the crown in the first position, and by rotating it clockwise, we can adjust the Moonphase complication, so you can see the disc with the moon and the stars moving around. Still in the first position, if we rotate the crown counterclockwise this time, we can change the date, and you can see that as the central hand passes the last day of the month indicator at 12 o'clock actually moves forward. Now we can move the crown to the second position, and this will allow us to adjust the time. So we can refer to the 24-hour indicator at 9 o'clock to know if the time is AM or PM. So the last thing we need to do is to adjust the day of the week, and to do so we will use a specific tool that is provided by Longines, and we will insert this tool in the corrector that is at 10 o'clock. By doing so, you will see that we will move the day of the week. So you can see that even though it's a watch with many complications, setting it up is really straightforward. Inside the watch, we can find the Longines L687 movement, which is actually a modified Valjoux 7751, which is a very famous movement from era Valjoux. One of the standout features of this movement is that it uses a column wheel mechanism for the chronograph. So unlike traditional cam systems, which are used in more affordable chronograph, the column wheel mechanism uses a series of precisely engineered levers and gears, and it provides smoother and more precise operations when it comes to using the chronograph function. So when you press the pushers, you will notice a more satisfying feel that sets it apart from many other chronographs in this price range. So the inclusion of a column wheel mechanism definitely reflects a higher level of craftsmanship, and it is a nice touch from Longines. This movement runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and we have 66 hours of power reserve, which is very nice for a watch with this many complications, as setting it up too often can be really annoying. Through the sapphire case back, we can see the decorative finishes. So the rudder features Côte de Genève striping, and the plates are decorated with perlage. Overall, it is a really nice and precise movement, and it features really nice decoration. So on my wrist, the 42mm case has a strong presence, but it has curved lugs, so it feels really comfortable to wear and not overbearing. I think that for a watch with this level of complexity, it is really well balanced and really enjoyable to wear. There is also a 40mm version of this watch, but it's even slightly thicker, coming at 14.3mm compared to 14.2 for this one. And I think that for a piece with so many complications, it is usually a good idea to go for the larger size. I think it makes more sense unless you have a smaller wrist. If possible, I would recommend you to try both sizes in a store before making a decision. So I went for the stainless steel bracelet, which features a mix of brushed and polished finishes, and it is paired with a butterfly clasp where you can see the Longines name and the logo. You can also purchase this watch with a leather strap or simply change the bracelet after some time. Personally, I'm considering pairing it with a black leather strap in the future, as I think it will give it a dressier look. So now let's cover some pros about this watch. First of all, it offers exceptional value for money, coming in at less than $4,000 for this specific reference. Its combination of complications and elegant design is really stunning, and I think that the chronograph, the Moonphase, and the overall build quality are really impressive, especially at this price point. The L687 movement is also very reliable, and the finishing is impeccable, so I think it really adds to the watch's appeal. It is also a very versatile watch. I think that it looks very sportsy when it has the stainless steel bracelet, but if you pair it with a leather strap, you can really change the look of the watch depending on the occasion. On the downside, the 14.2mm of thickness may not suit everyone, especially if you prefer slimmer watches. Additionally, we only have 3 bar of water resistance, so again, this is not a watch you would want to take swimming with you. But for me, personally, it's not a red flag because it has a dressier look, so this is not necessarily a watch that I would want to take swimming with me anyway. And lastly, I wish that Longines made the crown a little bit thicker because I think that sometimes it's a little bit annoying to use, especially in summer or when it's really hot and your hands get sweaty. It can be a little bit difficult to adjust the complications due to the smaller crown. As we wrap up, I think we can all agree that this Longines Master Collection Chronograph Moonphase combines heritage, functionality, and style in a way that's really hard to beat, especially at this price point. Personally, I would say this is one of my favorite watches and one of the most beautiful watches in my collection. Thank you very much for watching until the end, and if you enjoyed this review, please make sure to leave a like below and to subscribe to the channel for more watch content. And also do let me know in the comments your thoughts on this Longines, and also what features matter most to you when you're looking at a complicated timepiece like this one. So until then, see you next time.